Welcome back to NYSE TV Live. AI startup Laurel announced that it raised $100 million in a Series C round in an effort to transform the professional services space. This startup is on a mission here to make key changes within its sector to solve what it calls the, quote, time intelligence challenge, end quote. And joining me now with more is Ryan Alshak. He's Laurel's founder and CEO. Ryan, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on this round.
Thank you.
How are you going to use this fresh funding to grow the company?
Yeah, so what Laurel is we're the first company in the world to use AI to automate time and billing for professional service firms. And what that means is any lawyer, accountant, consultant, they used to have to account for all their time. AI is now doing this for them. And what we realize in doing that is we're creating a data set that's never been accessed before, which is what are people actually doing at work? And that's not a professional service problem, that's just a knowledge industry problem. So we're really taking this funding to build out this data platform to allow any organization to understand their most important asset, which is its human capital.
Wow, okay, so how are organizations interacting with your platform?
So right now we sell to, again, professional service firms, so law firms, accounting firms, consulting firms.
Yep.
And what they do is they give the software to their professionals, and they said, hey, you used to manually account for all of your time, which is an incredibly cumbersome process. Let AI do this for you. And then what we're now doing is supplying back this data set to say, hey, this is where your human capital is adding leverage, and here's where you should be deploying agents. Mm-hmm. So one of my favorite examples, one of our largest customers deployed Microsoft Copilot wall-to-wall. And they have no idea whether they're actually getting value or ROI from the LLM. Mm-hmm. And so they said, Ryan, can you help us use your data set to understand how much ROI are we actually getting from Microsoft Copilot? So those are the types of use cases that we're able to provide with our data set.
How do you want to grow this company?
Our mission is to return time. So it stands on the premise that the average knowledge worker today works 9 hours a day, but only has leverage for 3. That means all of us are spending 3 hours of our day doing work that machines should be doing, and then 3 hours a day that actually don't drive any outcomes. So I want Laurel to stand for the only company to be able to say, hey, this is where humans should be deployed, and the areas that are uniquely human and not AI. And then here's all the workflows that we need to deploy agents against so that we can allow knowledge workers to do more in less time.
Interesting. And what else can you share about how you're going to be deploying this specific capital and what your clients can anticipate down the road?
Yeah, so a couple other use cases that are really fascinating to me. So we're now getting access to other systems of record in the enterprise.
Yes.
So we'll be the first company to ever quantify business development time. Think about that. Enterprises don't actually understand how much time their people are spending in business development or relationship management or performance management or all the internal pieces of work that's never been quantified.
Yeah.
So those are the areas that we're starting to look at. We're also starting to understand what is non-productive time. What is requiring, what is taking away focus from adding value to clients and doing the administrative work. And those are really the areas that you should be focusing your AI strategy. Because what is AI from first principles? It's to save human time.
Yeah.
How do you have an AI strategy without quantifying human time? So that's really what we're focused on.
What is the data telling you based on what you're gathering across these systems?
About 40% of what an organization does not actually lead to outcomes.
Interesting.
So some of my favorite statistics, the average enterprise only spends 14% of its organizational time focused on company outcomes. Think about that. There's so much juice left to squeeze in our ability to actually provide outcomes and to work with AI to produce a lot more and a lot less.
Are there solutions that your company is recommending if companies are finding them in that position where they just aren't efficient in the way that they could be?
Absolutely. So working with one very large professional service firm, and what we found is they were spending 13% of organizational time putting together non-chargeable business development decks in PowerPoint over and over and over again. So instead of just throwing an LLM in the enterprise and say, hey, use it however you see fit, they were able to focus their people and say, we want you to automate this exact workflow and be able to reallocate that time to higher value activities like business development and relationship management.
Interesting. So in terms of your own leadership strategy, Ryan, what can you tell us about what tactics will make your company more efficient and how this service perhaps is giving you own insight into how you're performing and how you're leading?
Yeah, absolutely. So we dog through the application, and so we're now exploring ways to understand our own organizational behavior and understand how fragmented we are in the way that we work. Core systems like Slack and email tend to be very interruptive to deep work. So how can we create more focused work, which is where we do our creative thinking, which is where AI has a tougher time competing with sort of human ingenuity, to be able to, again, produce more and say, hey, here's the administrative stuff or the internal work. Let's time box that so that we can really focus on driving outcomes. We're still in the experimental phase, and we want to open source this to the world to say, hey, this is how you start and operate a business that's built on time.
How are you connecting with new clients?
I'm obsessed with my customers. We're on WhatsApp, we're on text message, constantly asking them, how can I add more value? What can we do with the data set that you're not doing? What are your biggest business challenges? If you had a magic wand and can answer anything, what would you answer? And so constantly getting that customer feedback and being able to adapt our data strategy to meet them where they are.
The second time that you mentioned you've been here at the New York Stock
That's right.
Exchange. We hope to see you back here soon.
48 months, ticker TIME.
All right, sounds good. Ryan Alshak, he's Laurel's founder and CEO, joining us in studio. Ryan, thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. Earlier this summer in South